All right, shalawam. First off, I want to say praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Rachak, Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of GMS, and to the elect doing the work of sincerity and the truth. Shalawam. There's GMS precepts, Nazar Khud here. And real quick, I got a few scriptures here, no article today. I want to go into, you can see this picture here. Real quick, me and, my big bro, older brother, we at times we discuss, we were going into 80s and late 80s and early 90s action stars like Steven Seagal and Van Damme, and come to find out a few videos we witnessed showing. Well, first it was Steven Seagal. Just to give you a quick, I'll try to make this quick. We found over the years a lot of videos showing how fucked up Steven Seagal is, how he's beating up his stunt doubles and just being an all around fucking asshole. Excuse my French. Um, but so each video we see of Steven Seagal is nothing new. But then we recently found something on Van Damme, how he's pretty much an asshole too, right? He's he's even gotten sued for permanently blinding one of his stunt doubles. I think he was actually the main actors in that movie Cyborg, right? Um, and all this other shit. So we're like, damn. Um, it's like that's most celebrities, right? If you go into so that just had me thinking, right? If in this society, in order for you to succeed or excel in this society, you gotta be wicked. Overall, you have to be, because a certain type will only be able to excel in the society, and those are the assholes. Those are the people that overall aren't right. You see. Um. So I got this scripture. This not scripture. This quote here. Um. It says all power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Okay. So basically, this quote is saying, um, if you're given, for instance, it's two sides to it. So if you're given a level of power, right, it's eventually it's gonna corrupt you, right? And also, it's saying if you are corrupt innately, you're going to come into some sort of power, right? And just to make it relative to Steven Seagal or pretty much celebrities, right? To be a celebrity is a certain level of power, right? Because you have a lot of influence. And I don't want to blab on. I hate this. I'm gonna go into some scriptures as well. I'm just trying to set this video up. But if you're a celebrity, you have a certain level of influence, which is power, right? Um, so if you're just a fucking asshole, right? If you ain't right, if you're wicked, if you're corrupt, you're eventually going to come into power, right? And if you're not a born asshole, and you make it by way of talent or smarts or whatever, eventually that power is going to corrupt you, right? So that's pretty much just what this quote is saying, right? Um, so that's pretty much what this lesson is going to be. It's going to be a quick lesson. Um, so in this society, so that's overall showing you that this society is overall it's wicked. You see? So actually, great segue to this scripture here in Ecclesiasticus, the 10th chapter, right? Verse 1 and 2. Ecclesiasticus 10 and 1. It says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. Right? So that's pretty self-explanatory, right? If you have a wise judge, he's going to instruct his people to what? To be wise as well, right? Um, And it says, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered, right? Because a wise judge is going to make sure that he surrounds himself with like-minded people that will not only compliment him, but to spread his knowledge and his way of rulership. Okay? It reads on, continues on. It says, as a judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. In what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So like I said, if you have a wise judge, or you can, on a small scale, you can make the example of like a manager at Walmart. If you have a good manager, he does everything by the book. He's fair and honest to, he's fair and honest. He's gonna make sure his the people that he hires are similar to him, and he'll make sure that the people he hire will complement not only himself but everybody else, and then you'll have a good running store, right? Just to make an example, right? But if you have a wicked manager, or if you have a wicked ruler, guess what? Guess what the people are going to be? Guess what the people that are under him are going to be? They're going to be wicked as well. And this is why you have a wicked rulership in power right now, and they are just destroying this world, right? And that's why what happens there's a lot of infightings going on. Okay, right? Matter of fact, let me go to Proverbs 29th chapter real quick. This is Proverbs 29:2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Right? And that's what's going on in this society, and the people are mourning, right? So, right? Because, for instance, you've got the wealth gap, right? The wealth gap in this country alone is increasing. Especially after 2020, what was it, 22, right? Especially after 20, no, I'm sorry, was it 2020? Especially after, I can't even say that word, especially after the demic, right? Yeah, especially after the demic, you had a lot of people that became wealthy, right? Why? Because you had a lot of people that became poor, right? So money is the same thing with power, right? Power is never lost, is always transferred. The same thing with money. Money's never lost, it's just transferred, right? It got transferred to who? The super rich. And as a result, the middle class, they started to dissipate, and you have damn near, you just have two classes. You have the super rich and you have the poor. And that middle class is starting to dwindle. Right? I think on average, I don't know the exact quote, but I think people have less than like, on average, the average people have less than like $500 in the bank account. That's like, that's poor, right? So so you have a lot of people that just act like they're not rich. I mean, not poor, or they're just bad with money. So they might have the appearance of being wealthy or doing okay, but really, nigga, you got $500 in your bank account, man, every week, right? They just basically living paycheck to paycheck, right? So the wealth gap is increasing. So what's happening? You have people mourning. The people are mourning, right? Showing you what the wicked is ruling right now, right? But it says when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, right? So that's showing you that we're in a wicked rulership. Oh, in First Maccabees, you have it says that when it speaks about the Greeks, right? Um when Alexander, when he passed that power to his four generals, and it says wickedness increased on the earth. Okay, wickedness increased on the earth. All right, why? Because it's a so going back to the scripture, verse 2, Ecclesiastes 10:2. As a judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, right? And Alexander was wicked, and guess what? His officers, they're going to be just as wicked. Okay, and when they took over, and the people they had under them, they were just as wicked as them. right? It says, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. So, going back to my original point about Van Damme and Steven Seagal and all these other fucking celebrities, they're being they're bent they're being rewarded, right? Like they've been rewarded all their life for a certain having a certain characteristic or being a certain person type of person, right? If this is a righteous kingdom, if we had a righteous rulership, if righteousness was ruling on the earth, they wouldn't be able to excel to the level that they have. Like these dudes became superstars, fucking celebrities, right? And fast forward now, it hasn't changed, right? Like if you they got all these fraternities and secret societies and all this stuff and connections. All you got to do is just pledge your essentially pledge, whether you realize it or not, you have to pledge your allegiance to the it sounds like a movie, to the dark side, or to Satan, whoever you want to call it, right? um oh, I got one more. Proverbs 28 and 28. I got the NLT version as well. Matter of fact, let me read that first, right? This is Proverbs 28 and 28, and then we'll close. Proverbs 28 and 28. When the wicked take charge, people go into hiding. When the wicked meet disaster, the godly flourish. You see? So it says, when the wicked take charge, people go into hiding. Right? When the wicked meet disaster, the godly flourish. And we're living in a time where we're seeing the wicked meet their disaster. Right? You've got infightings within these super rich families, and the godly is finally flourishing. They're, meaning you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we're finally waking up to our true heritage. Okay, we're finally flourishing. Okay, let me get the other version. Let me get the KJV version, right? Proverbs 28:28. When the wicked rise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase. Okay? So, once again, the righteous, now when they hide themselves and when they perish, power is just not going to dissipate. It's not just going to disappear. Who's going to get that power now? The righteous. Starting with our big brother, who the word ignorantly calls the Lord or Christ. It's going to be Yahawashi. Yahawashi is going to lead that new brigade, that new righteousness upon the earth. You see? And that's what we're looking forward to. So, Lord willing, you brothers and sisters were edified. Until the next show, shalawam.